We're going to go right through this round of fixtures, and let's just touch on the Essendon St Kilda game because we have to. 15th plays 11th. No one really cares about the ins and outs.
No, and they need to show some rigour. The St Kilda Football Club, as Ross said throughout the week about the journalists with no rigour. Well, they haven't been playing much rigour, but they do get a chance to win their fourth game in a row. The Bombers, we know they're decimated. There's a bit going on at the Saints, and I think we're going to see if they're behind their coach Ross Lyon tonight. You're a Saints man, Tim. Do you believe a lot of the scuttlebutt going on behind the scenes?
Oh, yeah, I don't think they're a happy bunch, and I think, this whole Tom De Koning thing's been quite damaging for them, and then you throw in the Nasiah Wanganeen-Millerer. I think Nasiah is lining his ducks up to leave. Otherwise, the club...
Why would you go through it?
Yeah, and you just deal with it. What are you waiting for? You've been offered a bomb. I'm just surprised, but maybe they just want to get through the season without it. I don't know.
Oh, I'm tempted to go the Bombers here, but I think the Saints will just get there.
Saints will win. Okay, then tonight, our attention. Wagner comes in for Dudley. Leicester, Starcevic, Day and Beacon on debut. He's
debuting
He
this
is.
weekend.
Good on you, Lukey. Duday, Smith, Robinson, McLaughlin go out.
I'm a Dudley man. He's out. Wagner comes in, as you mentioned, of course, gives more scope to maybe play a run with roll, and it could be on Hugh McCluggage because he is the man that they need to stop throughout the midfield. He's winning plenty of footy, but he used it so well inside the forward 50. And in the absence of Lockie Neal, he's the key guy. But I just think Dudley is that guy that can just create something like a Willerioli, where he doesn't need many touches, but he can just have that pass inside the forward 50 that sets up a goal or finish. So I hope to see him back in the team. But when you lose your spot this close to finals, it doesn't always bode well. The start's crucial for Fremantle. They haven't been the best starting team, except for last week, where they actually put it on, and then they got belted in the second quarter. Their pressure rating was really low. The big focus when you take on Brisbane is their kicking game. What they like to do is they just chip it around, and it's almost like they're on a timer. You've got to get rid of the ball within 1 to 2 seconds, and they hit up the short 45s. Look for that. We know Dane Zorko is crucial for that with his kicking game, but Fremantle under Justin Longmuir, they're a good defensive team, and they're quite smart at scouting, so they'll be trying to take away that kick, force them long.
Banfield go to Zorko?
Somebody needs to, just to be near him. No, Zorko's at half back, so it'd have to be the other way. Probably Switkowski.
Oh, I would go Banfield. I'd go Banfield and just play a defensive forward role. Why waste Switkowski?
Well, Wagner's got that opportunity to go through the back line, but he probably will go through the midfield. For me, you've got to be aware of Harris Andrews. And you can't tag them all. So he's probably the one that maybe it is a Paddy Voss. Or does Jai Amos play a role tonight where he just plays the selfless role to make sure he does not intercept mark that footy?
Paddy Voss's job was to tag Darcy Moore as a defensive forward. And you end up kicking 6.
Well, and lead up on him because he's that sort of player. And this is the case. So the team is in tune with that.
Yeah.
And it might be the same, that lead up, if Harris Andrews wants to drop off, let's hit up Paddy Voss. And he's good enough now to do that. I think Dunkley will either go to Sarong or he could go to Jackson around the ball, but Sarong's the one, bigger body, try and take him out. Dunkley's never a full tag, and you can exploit him too because we saw Isaac Heaney last week get away from him. I mentioned McCluggage, could be Wagner, could be O'Meara through the midfield. Charlie Cameron, got to keep him out. He is out of form, horribly out of form, Charlie Cameron. So can Chapman keep that going? They look stronger in defence now, don't they, the Brisbane Lions, with Ryan coming back in. Ryan Lester and also Starcevic, the other one.
Yep.
They've been vulnerable in defence, but that won't be the case. The ruck scenario will be interesting. Jackson and Darcy up against Darcy Fort. I thought Darcy Fort did a really good job on a red-hot Grundy last week.
He's keeping McInerney out of the team.
But he can't exploit Jackson. I think Jackson's the one at ground level that will do a number on Darcy Fort. So I expect him to take most of those centre bounces when he is in there. But I'm sensing a big night for Fremantle. And I'm going to go with Fremantle to win by 15 points.
Yeah, I cannot wait. It's one game I've been looking forward to for many a week, and it is going to shape these two clubs, of course. Flanders and Sexton come in for Gold Coast. Humphrey and Rosas go out. We're in for Stringer. This is a massive game too for both teams, the Suns and the Giants.
Do we trust the Suns? I think we do.
Yeah,
I think we're starting to trust them. And last week they did away from home. This week they get it at home and they play very good there. The Giants are a bit banged up, but the Giants have been in terrific form as well. I'm going to go with the Suns to keep it going. Big games for Matty Rao and Noah Anderson, both closing in on Nick Dacos for the coveted Brownlow medal.
So you've got Rao and Anderson in one game. And Finn Callaghan. Callaghan can't win, can he?
No, he's a fair way back. Yeah. You know who is closing is Wanganeen-Millerer.
Yeah. because the umpires.
And who else is getting them from St Kilda? Let's be fair.
And then you've got the Adelaide-Carlton game where you've got Dacos and Dawson going.
Adelaide-Collingwood.
Collingwood.
Absolutely. So it's still open, and he's a bit banged up, isn't he, Nick Dacos?
Yeah, he is.
And you think that maybe Dawson got 3 last week, so can't wait for the count. And the next 2 games and 3 for the Suns are going to be fascinating.
Speaking of Carlton, Sam Walsh returns first time in 10 weeks for Will White, Lockie Jones for Lukosius, whose season is over, and just repeating, no Mitch McGovern, he cannot get a game.
I thought they gave everything last week, Port Adelaide. They were brave, they were unbelievable against the Fremantle Dockers, but I don't think they'll be able to sustain it. They might leave it for next week, which will be the send-off for Travis Boak and Ken Hinkley. And the Blues have been toiling hard. Their first halves have been good for the whole season. They just lack the class and the polish to put teams away. They came back late last week. I think they're going to get their first win for a while.
All right, there's some arrogance from Hawthorn. No change. May and Sharp in for Jed Adams and Caleb Windsor at Melbourne.
Second up for the Demons will be a challenge. There's always that emotional hit when you have the first game for the new coach. We saw that last week. They went so close against the Western Bulldogs, who struggle a little bit at the MCG. The Hawks just need to win, and I think the Hawks will win against the Demons.
Brodie Smith, Walker, Schuttenberg and Murphy in for Crows. This is the team that we saw last week. Laird is suspended. Burgess, Chase Jones and Pedler go out. Will Parker, McCreary and Allen in for Collingwood. They lose Mitchell, Howe and Hoskin Elliott.
This has Collingwood written all over it, doesn't it, with the way that they can galvanise the group when they're under pressure. They're under pressure right now. We haven't seen this for a long time at the Collingwood Football Club. They travel well, and gee, they play that ground well. They won their last 10 against the Adelaide Crows, and at the Adelaide Oval, they've been dominant through that period as well. Where are you sitting on this one? Do you generally give Collingwood a chance to respond?
Yeah, it's Collingwood, but I do worry about their back 4 or 5 against what Adelaide, with Taylor Walker back. Adelaide's power forwards could have a day out. If Moore can't control Thilthorpe, heaven help Collingwood.
Was Ed Allen included, or is he?
Yes, he's in.
He's in.
Yep.
How do you feel about Ed potentially, if he's not going to be a regular at that footy club? Is there a chance that he could return?
Yeah, I think there'll be a chance. I think he would love to play for Freo. He would love to play for Freo. All right.
But I think Adelaide. Yep. I think because last week they were poor. It was like a loss against West Coast, and I think they'll respond on the back of that.
Curtis, Simkin, Goad, Phillips and Whitlock in for North Melbourne. Teakle and Hardman. So 2 West Aussie boys go out. Trainer, Gibcus and Kashitsky in for the Tigers.
Geez, there'll be some pressure, wouldn't there? They're pretty good last week, the Tigers. They nearly beat the Saints. North have been very disappointing. Ninja Stadium, that's a challenge for the young Tigers. If they lose this North Melbourne, he's under serious pressure. He might not see out next year. I'm going to go the Tigers in the upset here.
Hayward, Latham, Will Green, Matt Roberts and Corey Warner in for Sydney. McInerney and Grundy go out, both injured. Will Green will debut if he plays. Paddy Dangerfield, Jed Buse and Jack Martin all in for Geelong.
Not a foregone conclusion this for the Cats. Sydney have been very good in recent times at the SCG against Geelong. They struggle at that venue. And Sydney now playing with a bit of freedom. And what we saw last week against Brisbane was their ball movement from the back half. They just took the game on. A lot of handball chains going through the middle of the ground. Isaac Heaney was unbelievable. Blakey from that half-back line sets them up. But Geelong need a win if they want to finish inside the top 2. Geelong just. Yeah. I think Sydney, they can easily win this one.
Sam Davidson, Jordan Croft on debut, Cooper Hines, Arthur Jones and Lockie Smith on debut. So there's a couple of debutants. There's a couple of them, actually. Vandermeer and Poulter go out. Noah Long, Hunt. So all of these blokes right here that I'm about to name, I reckon are on the cusp of either playing or not playing. Long, Hunt, Bailey Williams, Jack Williams, I think will stay, Malachi Champion and Jacob Newton, the boy that they got in the mid-season draft, gets his first chance at it. Duggan suspended, Gross and Reid are both injured.
I think it gets ugly, this one. I know West Coast were good last week, but young teams struggled to back it up. There was a bit of emotion with the retirements. It was at home, and this is the Western Bulldogs who can smack teams. And if they don't bring the pressure again, it will get very ugly. Big challenge against that midfield. Richards was terrific last week. Bont's been doing it for a decade. They got no answer, really, for Sam Darcy and also Aaron Norton, who's the informed forward in the competition. Jimby's going to be asked to play on one of those. Brock as well. Plus, you've got the midfield that's dominant. Oh, I think this is the one I'm worried about for West Coast that could be towards 100 points. Well done to Liam Baker, 150 games. He's now the new captain for the last 2 games.
And next year.
Jacob Newton gets his opportunity as well. And next year, you believe? You think it's a done deal?
I think it's a done deal. He probably needs to polish up a little bit of the corporate side of him, but it's not his shtick.
Co-captain next year or standalone?
Yeah, I think that's a soft option. I'd just make him the captain.
Liam Duggan?
No need to be captain. He's been a warrior servant. His body's starting to fail him, and I just think
Is he banged up?
Yeah, his knee is shot. Has been for a couple of years. He had the best laser left foot in the competition several years ago in the halcyon days. He's really struggled. Greenworks Power, Greenworks Quality, Greenworks Ranger, Ultimate Battery Power Garden brand is now here. A couple of responses. Players of their footy players, not songbirds, from 982. Yeah, but if you're going to waste our time and members want to see it, because every time we don't play the song, people go, we didn't see the song. We want to see the song. Well, if you're not going to try in the song, don't play it. Don't waste our time. Also, thanks to Programmed Commercial Painting, simplifying painting maintenance since 1951. Programmed Commercial Painting, the real industry experts. There's your answer there, Roy. And also, just a quick one. Darryl says, who becomes most vulnerable selection-wise in the coming weeks against the Dogs and potentially finals? If JL decides Fife is best served as a sub, I think against the Dogs we need more run than bulk, and Erasmus is showing he can be a starting mid that could hold a role against either Richards or Libba.
I think if Matty Johnson is available and Hayden Young comes back in, I think Erasmus is still vulnerable.
Sure. But
also the other watch is Nathan O'Driscoll, who hasn't had the best month of footy.
Agree. Well done. 7:16. Alex Witherden's going to join us. That was for Greenworks, Australia's ultimate battery-powered garden brand. A man does not do dissection of pre-game preparation more than the best special comments man I've ever worked with or listened to, Paul Hazelby.